I'm Haley.
Yo, I'm Ellie.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy Sebastian. Correa.
Yo, I'm Aaron. What's up? It's Nolan.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good Tuesday morning, Redskins. Here are the announcements for today, Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. Congratulations first to our volleyball team on their opening night win at Eagleton last night. The Lady Redskins go back on the road this evening, back to Blount County again to take on Maryville Christian. Good luck, volleyball team. Good luck tonight also as well to the Lady Redskins soccer team and to our golf team. Soccer travels to Gibbs tonight for their match. And the golf team will take on Apostolic Christian in a home match this evening at Toqua Golf Course. Best wishes again to all of our student athletes competing tonight. Just a reminder to anyone that parks in the lower lot. Now, if you'll hold that teleprompter for just a second. The lower lot is down by ROTC, down by the dumpsters, down there in the softball area, adjacent to the football practice field, not the senior lot. Okay, I'm talking about the lower lot. Your cars have to be moved by 3:30 when school ends each day, okay? If you park down there and you're staying for sports and other things, you need to move them. If you're leaving, you need to leave by 3:30. So if you can keep on running it, they need to be moved by 3:30, really on Tuesday and Thursday, but every day, regardless of whether you stay after school or not, okay? The band practices out there. That's their practice area, and they can't practice if a car is anywhere in that lot. They take up that entire space, okay? This is especially a problem, like I said, if you're on a sports team and you have an away game and you're gone, okay, because we can't get it out of there. The bottom line is if you park at the bottom lot on the side by the softball field, your car must be moved immediately after school ends. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Spirit Club will be kicking off the season with their first meeting after school on this Thursday. That's this Thursday from 3:15 to 4:15 in Miss Correa's room. Everyone is welcome to join. We will be decorating the halls for our first football game this week against Greenback. Anyone participating in Redskin Nation, and that includes any girls helping to paint up, that you need to meet in Miss Correa's room again for a mandatory meeting. And guys, that's today. That's today, probably during the time you're supposed to be watching this. So if you're listening to this and you forgot to go to that meeting, you need to go to that meeting right now. Please come to her room first before you go to lunch. It won't take longer than 10 minutes. All right, it's time. Like we announced yesterday, we are less than 2 weeks away from the Battle of the Bridge. This is not only a football game, it's also a couple weeks of raising money for those around us in the area that are hungry. The Battle of the Bridge food drive is a competition between Loudon High School and that other high school across the river, in which we raise as much money and canned food as we can for the Good Samaritan Center of Loudon County. The winner gets an amazing trophy and bragging rights for the year. Not only that, they get to know they've supported those around us that are less fortunate than us. And that's awesome. So what can you do? It's simple. We'd like for every class, every period, okay, to raise $100 per period. That sounds like a lot, but that's $300 per teacher. All right. Again, it sounds ambitious, but I think we can do it. The bottom line, let's get started now. No time to waste. Let's help those around us that are struggling and also beat those Panthers once again, like we do every single time. Got to work, though. That's it, guys. Have a terrific Tuesday, Redskins. We are, and we hope you'll join us.
My name's Skylar Gray with LHS Newsmag. Today we're going to be interviewing some teachers and eyewitnesses of the August 7th storm that came through Loudon County. Now that storm was a pretty big storm, as it did rip some of the roof off, and some teachers had to come in the next day and help with reparations as the students got the day off. Now our first interview is going to be with Izzy Watson, who is interviewing Mr. Brown. Off to you, Izzy. Mr. Brown, what did you see on the storm on August 7th?
Well, I was in here. I didn't see a whole lot, but I did hear when the wind started really picking up, the louvers in the exhaust, they sounded like they was about to rip out. And I looked at the plumber that was in here working, and I literally said that's never happened before. So I took off there to the front doors, and that's when I seen the roof had blown off and was literally in the parking lot, and was not a good sight to see.
And did you help with any of the cleanup the next day?
Yeah, we got out there next day, got out on the equipment, and me, Lance, and Billy, we was operating the skid steer and the big fork truck and putting up the debris into the dumpsters, and got to bust up the building of the old ticket booth there and help the inmates get that all put away and out of the way, and made a place look a whole lot better.
Welcome back to the LHS News Mag, and I'm with the principal, Mr. Mack. So, Mr. Mack, so Monday, as you know, we got off school early, largely to your decision. What was that decision like? Was it an easy one, or did like the higher ups above you tell you to do that, or what happened there?
Okay, so around, I would say 11 o'clock, 10:30, I looked at the weather, and at that point it looked like at our dismissal time, from about 3 o'clock until 4:30, we were supposed to have storms, and I'm talking about heavy storms. Didn't quite turn out that way. It came a little bit early, but nonetheless, I called Mr. Guerin, who is our director of schools, and they were thinking about it at that point. It's not my decision, but so at about 12:10-ish, around that time, they called and said that we were going to dismiss at 1 o'clock. So that's the way it works. I don't get to decide that, but sometimes if I've got an idea, I'll call and see if that's what they like to do.
Oh, as we all know, we got off school early. How did you react to getting off school on Monday at like 1?
You know, honestly, I thought it was the greatest thing because I don't even have to be here till 11, so I only had 30 minutes worth of class today, or Monday.
What class did you have?
I had algebra, honors algebra.
Makes sense. So you drive, correct?
I sure do.
So what was it like driving in the monsoon that was Loudon High School?
You know, luckily we had gotten out when there was a good window, so it wasn't too bad until I got to Von Noor. They had started getting a little rough. But other than that, made it home safe, and that's what matters.
Well, Chloe, so as you know, Monday we got off school early around 1. What was your reaction to that?
Well, my first reaction was I found out schools around us got out, but at the time I was in lunch, and I looked outside the windows and doors, and it looked bright as day and clear as day. So I didn't really see the necessity of it, but I'm thankful we did.
What did you do on your Tuesday? Did you rob a bank, or did you be like a productive member of society, or what'd you do?
Yeah, so I actually didn't have power on Tuesday either. So I didn't stay at home. I took my dog and we went out just to try to get some cool air. It was hot outside. It was hot in our house. No AC, no power. So we went for some walks, went for a hike. We had a play date with my brother's dog. We just kind of hung out and said.
So just had a dog party, basically?
Yeah.
No, Wyatt, as much as I like to think I'm really important here at LHS, I'm not that high up. In fact, we got the notification. Ms. Hicks and I were eating lunch, and I saw the notification on my phone, and I texted Mr. Breakbill and asked him if we were being punked, because that was certainly unexpected.
What was your job as a teacher when it comes to the dismissal of students? Because on the student side, it was a little hectic, everyone flying around, figuring out what to do. So what was your job?
It was kind of like that for me. At 12:48, when they said we're going to go ahead and dismiss car riders, everyone but one student in my class got up and left. So I had one bus rider who just sat with me, and we kind of talked a little bit just about summer and class until her bus was called, and that was it. So it was like they were there, and then they were all gone to go get in their cars.
So we're out here with Miss Rob, and we're going to interview her about a few things. So Miss Rob, what did you see when you were here? We know you were an eyewitness, so what did you see in the storm? What did it look like?
Well, I was standing at the bottom windows at the doors at the stairs, waiting with a couple people waiting on a bus, and we heard a really loud burst of wind, and all of a sudden we look, and there was just pieces of the roof just falling off. And so we ran into the bathrooms there, got the kids kind of hunkered down until it passed.
Now, was that scary at all?
Yeah, I don't like storms to begin with. They scare me anyway.
Me either.
So I was scared to death.
Okay. Here and helped a little bit, you and a few other teachers. So how did that go? How'd that kind of go out?
Well, we just came out the next day and picked up the pieces of the roof that were laying in the parking lot so that you guys would have somewhere to park when you came to school the next day, because there were pieces everywhere. But basically, we filled up dumpsters with the roofing and tore down the old ticket booth.
All right, we are here with Lance. Lance, what did you see during the storm?
I saw a lot of wind. I saw a lot of debris. I saw a lot of chaos.
A lot of chaos. Elaborate.
There were goats flying out of the barn. I saw a pig fly by once. Me and Miss Rob were downstairs. I told her, you better grab your pigs, grab your goats. The tornado's taking everything.
Yeah, but, well, that's pretty accurate, I could say. Now, did you help with any of the reparations or anything like that?
I was out there watching a lot of people work. I didn't really volunteer to do a whole lot because I'm not much of that type of person. But I did see a lot of people volunteering and doing a lot of work.
So we heard you were here as an eyewitness for the storm that ruined our roof. What do you have to say about that?
It was pretty interesting, yes.
Yeah?
Could have been worse.
What all did you see?
I just seen the aftermath of it. I did not see the actual event. I just seen the aftermath.
And did you help with the cleanup?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
It was exciting. I mean, it was just, we got to run heavy equipment and do a little cleanup.
Oh yeah, well that sounds great. We're glad you got it all cleaned up.
Oh yes, now we're back at school and you're happy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, thrilled.
How are you guys doing today? Here we're with
Wiley Breakbill.
And he's going to give us a little rundown on how the storm kind of overtook our school a little bit. So if you can talk about that, that would be great.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thanks for having us on here. It was great effort, great work by the Loudon County Schools, get the students out, get them safe. So I returned back to my post in the office working away, and then this, pretty good sizable storm, wind, rain started coming. So I did what any man would do when a storm comes. I called my mommy, and I was on the phone with her, and I said, we were talking, and I said, yeah, that wind's really kicking up out there. And at that time, Mr. McIntosh comes around the corner, he goes, I think there's a tornado out there. And as soon as he said that, his phone starts ringing, and Miss Winstead said, I'm taking students down into the bathroom. We're taking cover. And Mr. Mack said, well, what for? And she said, because the roof's blowing off the building. So we took off running off into the back, and sure enough, back there in the back parking lot, there's just debris everywhere. And so we started to get the efforts underway and got it all cleaned up. And then the next day, many people came out to help. A lot of the trustees from the Loudon County Sheriff's Office came down, staff, faculty, Chick-fil-A, got this place cleaned up, and now we're back and ready to go.
We're all safe, and the roof is right now in the process of getting fixed, and we're mostly back to school. Mostly. Thankfully, once again, we're all safe and sound, and no one was really hurt. And that's it. This is LHS News Mag.
Now, whenever the August 7th storm came through, it did rip some of the roof off.